Welcome to Metrotown, where you'll find ivory sky towers and gentrified gentrification. This is an intentional crossing of the old and the new. It's absolutely intentional to be looking at something that's not modern, because modern you can find easily, but old original 3-story walk-ups are going to be gone with the dodo, even though I think reportedly the dodo bird was rediscovered. And skipping right along, it is known that if you have public art in the city of Burnaby, you don't have to have parks or trees, or anyway, a lot of trees. So there's some public art. This is a big hole. It's not even a black hole. So consequently, the purpose of this video is not the 3-story walk-up or the giant Bosa rental building, but about a street without a name. I'm looking for street signs. This street has no name. So this is Kathleen Avenue anyway. And there's that public art I was telling you about. If you got the public art, don't need any trees. So why am I on the street? Why? So Kathleen Street. And what is Kathleen Street? The street without a name. Kathleen Street is a street where temporary fencing has been put up. And why? Because these lots were purchased by the city of Burnaby to hold them down for the developers, because there'll be buildings here, right? Big high rises. But why am I here? I'm here for the old, right? Because this old will not be here. There'll be public art that's metal and steel and no trees, right? I'm here for these 100-year-old homes, right? Here's one. Right? Like a family used to live in that home, in little rooms with a fireplace burning wood, with a wood stove, right? And that was just beautiful, right? It's gone into the toilet. Oh, there's a nice oldie over here. This is classic. Oh, there's an empty lot here. Look at that. How much is that worth? Yeah, there's an oldie right here. You gotta love it. This is in Metrotown, right? The last street with houses on it. From here all the way to Imperial, because all those are older, newer walk-ups. And never mind, Nelson, around that area, there's all high-rises now right on the street, right on the sidewalk. So yeah, so this oldie and goodie here, right? You gotta love it, right? That's an ancient house, beautiful, something you would see fully restored in Vancouver, you know, in like Shaughnessy or something. So, and a little story about what was that? Broadview, yeah, Bosa Properties. That building footprint planning was augmented into the bylaw in the city of Burnaby. Dark times call for dark measures to take over a forest. There was a Kathleen forest right where that building stands, and sadly the person that promised to chain themselves to the trees there was David and then Goliath build this rental building here, and they cut the forest down, which sucks, right? And now these places are from 13 floors up is rental. That's the dog bone, right? The carrot. You live up there and you're closer to the top deck, which is the amenity room and the top floor or top rooftop patio. And these are like 550 square feet for like $3,000 and $450 for $2,500 to rent. So get your money ready with you and your friends. There's like a 50s home here that's still functional. Somebody lives there. And we salute our friends in Ukraine. Love to all of you. And there's the local kitty cat. You gotta love the local kitty cat. Hi. What's that kitty doing, huh? Hi. You still have a home to live in, eh? Wasn't that the cutest kitty cat you've ever seen? And the trees, and the trees, and the trees. Here are the reasons for foregoing of the trees, and there is some reason behind the madness, because these are designed by an Aboriginal artist and they light up, which is nice, but these are to be arrowheads potentially to signal ancient burial sites potentially in this area. But that is not why I came back to this area. I came back to bring up the existence of us, the people of British Columbia, being turned into second-class citizens in our own country, because now we're going to discuss the 13th floor and anything below that. So if you are among the many people that were evicted in this city, in this province, by a giant developer like Bosa, that means that you get the first dibs on any of the floors from 13 down, and you get to live in subsidized housing for $1,100 a month. That's the legislation from the British Columbia government to force the developer like Bosa to create subsidized housing. But guess what? You are moving out of that walk-up, and that's a subsidized situation, because that was a multi-density place of 6 or more units. But if you are coming out of a house that some guy or gal converted to like 4 units, and that didn't quite make 6 units, that means you are a second-class citizen in your own country, because subsidized housing does not count in that situation, because you came out of a 4-unit multiplex. And that sucks, because that's how people end up on couches and homeless on the streets, thanks to developers like these, and cities and municipalities and governments in British Columbia, like the ones we have currently. Not to say they're not doing a lot of good things, but they're also doing a lot of bad things to a lot of good people. So there you go. And I'm gonna go out on a positive note to say that this building is a giant block of a non-architecturally pleasing piece of crap, and we could do better. How about some of these developers travel to other countries and look at the buildings that they're building there and do better? Thank you.